All right, guys, welcome to my trade recap for 12/22/2024. So, going into the day, the first thing I wanted to do was check out some of the news. This week is going to be a quiet period for FOMC, so you're not going to see much news this week from those guys because I think FOMC meeting is going to be next week or in May or something. So, this week is going to be a quiet period. There are some big news coming as far as like earnings and so forth. Uh, but otherwise, as far as like the ones that truly are going to change the market, the only thing we're looking at is going to be like advanced GDP, unemployment claims, um, natural gas, things like that. But today on Monday, there wasn't really any news coming out, so I knew that already. But going into the week, I saw that. Of course, coming off of last week is just a killer week. If you were paying attention last week, you just saw that we kept on hitting this level. This level was a safe level, was 18,046.50. That was the level that we were looking at. And once it broke it and pushed through it, it just kept on going. It kept on going for the whole entire week. So if you were shorting last week, you did well. Of course, I at the start of the week, I thought, all right, if it comes down here, I saw the nice rejection. So possibly we'll see another rejection. But since the rejection was getting smaller and smaller, I should have expected that it was going to break through. But, I was wrong. But I still finished the week last week as far as being up on the week. But as far as my long term goal, I was wrong in where it possibly was going to go. And you can never be right. You just want to trade what you see. Trade what you see. You have a hypothesis of what you think is going to happen. And it happens. It doesn't happen. Who knows? The market is the market. You just it's around to fulfill orders. So once it broke through, I played the market wrong. I kept on trying to buy the bounce, but when I bought the bounce, I buy the bounce in a specific way that it still saved me. So I was still able to get like anywhere from 10 points to about I got all the way up to a 30-point move when I got it right. And I'm not never trying to pick a bottom for any kind of balances, but that's what it worked out last week. But anyway, coming into this week, I saw this nice strong candle. So strong candle. We have a fair value gap down here on the weekly that we can possibly get back down to that hasn't cleared yet. The last time it was here, there's a nice, what is this? The demand zone as well in here. So we're like, all right. So I'm like, all right, if it breaks here, we can possibly keep going down. Or if we hold this week and consolidate and come back down, we can see what happens. Or if we have a this week where we just consolidate here, we get a break of here, we go back higher, retest here before we come back down here. Or a week we just cut here and we just drop. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? But coming into the week, I understood that the possibility of us keep on going down is going to be higher because of the strong candle. And because, like, look at this volume that came up here. Look at the volume from last week. Look at that volume. Look at that volume, right? It's been the highest volume, and the volume as far as coming down just kept on increasing. The last week we kind of hit that point, right? So maybe this week we might have more of a consolidation week, but now that's besides the point. So let's keep moving. So I saw that. So I came into the market. I came in this morning. I set my levels, got my highs, had my lows. This is going to be on my Thinkorswim platform. I can't show the Thinkorswim platform yet. I don't know how to show it here on this live or on this YouTube record or whatever it is. I'm going to have to get a program that I can show it. But anyway, I had my highs, had my lows as far as what the day was. But I didn't have to really worry about those. And one of the things I always do as well, my other key levels that I look like is like the weekly levels, weekly high, weekly low. I have these levels that are marked out already. So coming in, I was going to expect if it would have came down here, I would expect some kind of a bounce, just some kind of a bounce because it's a weekly. It's going to be a strong area, right? Strong area. It might push through and come down to like this area to touch more of these wicks down here. But the possibility of it bouncing right at the weekly low is high, right? So I already knew that coming in. The daily candle, like I said, I had previous day, previous high. But I came in. I came in right away. When I came in this morning, I came in a little bit late but last night I had did my analysis. So I came in, and the first thing I want to do, like one of my buddies taught me this probably 2 years ago now, or a year ago. You want to take the first 15 minutes, and you want to understand what the first 15 minutes is doing. So we had our high, we had our low for our first 15-minute candle. So if we go to the 5 minute and you have a moving average here, you could see that On the 5 minute, it was holding this area, right? It was holding this. Well, are we on the 5 minute? Shit. Let's go back to 15. Shit. Sorry. 15 minute right here. 15-minute high and low, right? So it was holding this area. So let me go down to the 5 minute, and it was holding this area, held this area. And once it held the area, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to go in for a small contract. I didn't go do anything high, search anything crazy. So went in, I bought one contract. And then I was looking for the break of fear, and especially going to that change your character, which we end up getting. And I end up getting, I think, like probably 15 or 20 points on this one. I was just a small contract, and I'll get the day started because I on Mondays I typically do bad. So I want to start the day slow because I need those wins. It gives you the confidence, just like anybody, it gives you the confidence. And then after that, I had walked away from my computer for a little bit, and then I came back. I came back and I saw that after we had their 15-minute high, we're going to be here, right here, right? This 15-minute, we saw that it was a strong rejection. So when I saw this, I started adding on the pullback, hoping that this rejection would keep on holding. And as my stop loss would have been up here. And when it broke, I just held it, and I held it back down to about here. Somewhere down here, I think I held it too. So I ended up getting some points on it, but I don't think I was very happy with the trade because I do feel like I got out the trade a little early. I am working on staying in trades longer, but like I am a scalper. Most of the time I'm going for 10, 15, 20, 30 points at the most. And yeah, so whether I'm on NQ or MNQ or I have 10 contracts or 3 contracts or whatever it is, I try to keep it. But I am trying to say if I can scale down less contracts and just hold longer, I can possibly make the same amount of money. And I want to give myself less anxiety and taking less trades. So I did hold it, and I held it for a decent amount of trades. And then after that, I was like, all right. So what I typically do is like after I see like a nice strong trend down, like I see multiple candles, and this time I should have been looking for like 4 or 5 candles. So typically I want to see 4 or 5 consistent like red candles or green candles in one direction, and then I want to see a change. I want to see some kind of candle change where the opposite starts to win. And this candle clearly shows that the the buyers started winning, and they did show, but we did see like a nice rejection right of the change of character. But I am working on something where on a strategy. So I was on a strategy that once I see that, I go ahead and add. If it pulls back, I add down here. So I added here, and the bracket here, I stopped out, right? And then the next one, I was like, all right. So I was like, in the next 15-minute one, I'm going to add size. So what I did when I had this nice rejection, I saw that at one, I added here. I added here, and I added, I think, how many contracts did I add? And I wasn't worried about here I wasn't worried about here because I saw this nice rejection. And if you go to the 30-minute as well, look at that. You see that right there? We had the consistency. We had 2 higher time frames that had the same thing. And then the 45 minutes was moving into it as well. So I was like, I had more, what's that word? I was at a better, it was a stronger thesis. So I grabbed contracts, and when I grabbed those contracts, it moved. It moved. I think I ended up getting like 30 points on it. I should have held longer, but it is what it is. Around this area, after I lost here in this area, I started trading on tilt. And I noticed that about myself. When I lose, I just want to make the money back. And so this area, I fucked up a bunch, but I was able to get my composure back, and I oversized. I did all this garbage here, but I was able to get my composure back and then add properly after this one, after this candle. Pull back, I was going to add here. If it pulled back, I was going to add again for the move back up. But of course, because we had this strong demand zone. And if you go down to the hourly too, you see that same area. So I was like, it's going to be a strong area to bounce. And I was surprised that I added in the 15-minute on the other one because you know where the zones are. So, I got to get myself to wait. I get myself to be more patient in some of my trade. So I did hold it, and I knew it was going to keep going, but I don't know why I didn't hold, man. And then the last trade I took was I saw this 15-minute change. I was like, all right, this is nice. This is a nice rejection into this area. We are seeing a strong trend up, but I'm going to just go ahead, and I took 5 contracts here, took it down. I took it back down to like this area right here, right? So I made a little bit of money. But my risk to rewards weren't great on any of these. This was the best trade here. This one was the best trade. And I should have just held it. So it is what it is. I am working on new strategy. I ended the day up. which is really good, which is very good. I'm just working right now. I'm passing a couple of challenges. I've passed a few of them, and I have the accounts, and I'm working on those accounts. But the idea is that I am trying to get myself to have multiple accounts and start doing copy trader on a few of the accounts, because I don't want to worry about that lag if something happens. And so that's what I'm working on now. But I want to get consistently in passing accounts, which I have been passing, but I want to get to a point where it's like boom, 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 pass, boom, 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 pass, because there's a lot of people I see that you can get past the accounts, right? And I want to get into that frame, and then I can move myself into more payouts. So yeah, so that was my trade recap. Hope it was good. Hope you enjoyed. All right, I'm gonna end this stream. But damn, I should have held that trade. I was in right here. I know, man, I should have held it, but whatever.